Heyo, and welcome to my completed junk journal. Now, this is the first one I have ever finished, and I finished this on March 27th of 2026, after I had started it on July 1st, 2025. So about 7.5 months, almost 8 months it took me to complete this journal. And I'm not going to do this like a typical sketchbook flip through. I wanted to just do a flip through with a voiceover. A lot of these are videos, so you can always go back and look, or you can take a look and pause, whatever your heart desires. I started picking up junk journaling after I had seen some people do it while I was on vacation when I came to Maryland the first time in June of 2025. I had saved up some scraps, and I was like, I'm going to scrapbook this and start making a journal, but I never got around to it. When I came back to Maryland, because I went home back to Pennsylvania for a week, and then I moved out due to a extremely toxic family situation, I realized that I needed a way to express myself in a therapeutic way that wasn't what I was doing before, which is my sketchbook. So I decided to take up on junk journaling in full swing, and I had this leather cord bound book. I believe I got it at the thrift store in the town I came from, and I really liked the idea. And there are definitely a lot of mistakes in this journal. Like mistake number one, I didn't glue every other page together. Some pages are glued every other together because I skipped them and forgot about it, but that's not my fault. I definitely left. Well, I was learning, like the first couple pages with the Pokemon, as you see, a lot of stuff fell apart because I wasn't gluing it properly. I wasn't putting down the right material. I was just trying to use an Elmer's glue stick to put a piece of cardboard, a thick piece of cardboard, onto a piece of plastic, and then that piece of plastic is just Elmer glue sticked onto a piece of paper. Like, it was never gonna work. I think I needed a stronger glue of some sort, like a craft glue, or put cardboard down or something. I needed to figure it out, but I learned that later on. A lot of the Pokemon stuff, like I said, I also didn't separate the front from the back of the cardboard. When I got later into my sketchbook junk journal, I realized that I could just separate the top layer of cardboard for a package and make it thinner so my book is not crazy huge. Like I said, I learned that too late, but hey, it's fine. What I really like about this junk journal is that it's all memories. One way or another. Like, some people can be like, oh, that's just trash, but it's memories. And I'm not like, oh, you're hoarding trash, because I am a hoarder, don't get me wrong. You should go look at my craft supply box. It's a lot. But I'm also technically saving a lot of trash from ending up in the landfill, even if it does look like I'm doubling the trash, because I'm separating the top part of the cardboard from the back of the cardboard. But that top part of the cardboard had plastic on it, so now that plastic is bound to this book. Meanwhile, the cardboard is going into recycling. And with everything just being memories, because some stuff is event-based, like I did stuff for concerts, I did stuff for the Renaissance Festival, I did stuff for Christmas. Some stuff is memories like, oh, I remember when I got the idea for this spread. I took a bunch of stuff from the snacks I ate that week, or the drinks I had. Like, it's that kind of memory making. And it may not look like much to a lot of people. A lot of people would honestly just say it's trash, which, yeah, it's a junk journal. It is trash, but it's my trash. And I had to fix a lot of the stuff as I was flipping through this. I had stuff falling off. I've had stuff falling off of this book for months. It just falls off, and I have to tape it back in because the glue isn't going to hold anymore. So I do what I can to make it work. And as you'll see later on, I have a whole page fall apart, a whole spread just come right off. And I have to quick glue that or tape that back into the book, because I'm going to be real, I don't think I'm ever going to open this junk journal again. Maybe in like 10 years or something like that, but in the near future, I am not opening this book for anything. It is being held together by a thread. You saw how big the book was when I showed it on the front camera. It is a big book. And I'm very proud that I was able to complete this journal in such a short amount of time. And I say short because most of my sketchbooks take about a year to complete. This took me 8 months. And it's still art, and I'm still very, very happy with it. Like I said, I did take up junk journaling as a form of art therapy, and I guess it can be also of like, not even just like, it is a way to express yourself, but it's also a way to let go. I'm holding on to trash, I'm holding on to stuff that I don't need. And junk journaling for me is not only a symbolism of a self-expression, it's I have junk that needs to go, and it needs to be made into something beautiful. And I really like that that's also huge symbolism for mental health. Like I have trauma from growing up. I have trauma from the last 5 years. I've had a lot of trauma, and I express that trauma through my art because I take what I don't want and I form it into something I do want, if that makes kind of sort of sense. Van Gogh painted, and yeah, he was a very, very great artist, but he was depressed. He was just so depressed. He was eating cadmium paint to try to kill himself. He tried to cut his earlobe off. Like, he was depressed, but he still made beautiful art. He took that emotion and put it into his paintings. And that's kind of what I'm doing with at least my illustrations. I use my illustrations as a form to get away. So that's why sometimes they get super detailed for no reason, because I just want to focus on something. And that something is art. And with junk journaling, I'm taking these memories that most people would just consider trash and turning it into something nice. And I feel like I'm just repeating myself, but that's just the truth of it. And also with the mention of recycling, a lot of this stuff is either plastic coated or it is plastic. And yeah, some plastic unfortunately does go back from the junk journal box into the trash, but at least not all of it is making back into the trash. So in a way, it's not only just helping the planet, it's helping my state of mind. And I love that. I just think it's something beautiful. This book has definitely taught me a lot of things. First of all, about patience, about time consumption. It's literally a don't judge a book by its cover. Sometimes it would take me half an hour just to prep up all of my scraps to put into a journal that I'm gonna look at for 20 seconds and then be like, well, okay, time to go do something else. It's kind of bittersweet to finish this journal. Like when I first finished my first Bailey J sketchbook, or even just my first sketchbook front to back, I was like, oh, I'm not gonna look at these again, these illustrations. And I'm glad that I have a digital flip through of these junk journals, because like I said, I'm not opening this for a very long time. But I'm glad it's done, you know. It just makes me feel better, like, wow, I did that, and it looks good. Some pages are a little not as good as others, but it's still something. And I'm very excited that I'm going to be starting a new junk journal. Although I am quite upset. When I first I had 2 books I had set aside for junk journaling. It was this one, and then I had this other one I got from Marshall's, or Home Goods, excuse me. I was very excited to use the other one because it was a bigger book. I had more knowledge, and then I lost it. I don't know where it went, but I couldn't find it anywhere, and I was so upset that I went out to Five Below and I bought another journal. And the moment I decorated this journal to be my new junk journal, I found my other one. So now I don't have to buy another journal. So now I have 2, as of right now, I have 2 backup journals and a whole box of junk journal stuff to go through. So I'm very excited where this new chapter of journaling is going to take me. But I'm going to leave it at that. Next week's video is not junk journal related. Thank God. It is going to be an illustration, be it mermaid or something else. Just of how these videos are coming up, I'm not exactly sure, but we'll see how that goes. So I will see you guys next week for an art video. How exciting is that? Like actual art, not a vlog. Actually, it might be a vlog. I bet I have made like 7 videos in advance to come off of my hiatus, and I don't remember what videos are next. I'm pretty sure it's art. If it's a vlog, it's a vlog. Sorry. I'll leave it at that. Thank you guys so much for watching and putting up with whatever I'm doing on my hiatus, and I will see you guys next week for either a vlog or a art video. I'm not sure yet. All right, bye.